In this episode of What's Up Dub, the rise of Skywalker, my thoughts, what I've been building and what's to come, and my top 5 2019 action figures and heaps more. Let's get into it.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy.
G'day YouTube, down to Bricks here, and welcome to this week's video, a What's Up Dub episode. These have been missing in the wild for quite some time. It's been well over a year since I've done one of these videos, so wanted to do it as kind of like an introduction to 2020 because I'm really hoping for a big year on the Lego front. And speaking of Lego, let's talk about what I have been building. So this is pretty much what's happened in maybe the last month or so. Like I've said in previous videos, I have been very busy. Actually, I'll just slip in and just say from last week's video on what's happening with the Lego room, made some really good progress on the Lego room. So that's going to be coming up in the near future. So yeah, having a look at what I've built here. Of course, I built the awesome 1989 Batman, and just as a side note, I didn't do a top 10 Lego set video this year for 2019. A lot of work those videos, I haven't had a lot of time, so I did skip out this year. I'll definitely bring them back for 2020, but just letting you know, my number one Lego set for 2019 is definitely the 1989 Batman. I haven't picked up the Star Destroyer yet, so I wouldn't have been able to put that on my list because I like to have the set in my collection, so that wouldn't have gone on, but definitely looking forward to picking that up as well. And I did see that it is now listed on the Maya website, so Maya is stocking the UCS Star Destroyer, so looking forward to maybe in the next 6 months or so. They tend to exclude it from their sales, but let's hope in the next 6 months or so we'll be able to pick that up at 20% off, and that's where I'll probably snavel it and put it on Afterpay so I can pay it off because it's bloody expensive. But yeah, absolutely love it. I reviewed this set. It even made me, pull the finger out and do a comparison video. So that's how much I loved it. Of course, built the little limited edition one as well, and then with DC I did build this the Riddler heist, and a lot of good components to it. Not too sure about the chopper. The police vehicle's rather cool, but the Batwing is very cool. I really love this. I think behind the 2006 Batman, this is probably my favorite, but I didn't really put much thought into that, so I don't know, let's just go with it. Batman, Shazam, Riddler, and Commissioner Gordon, all excellent minifigures. Let's go this guy over here. Finally got round to building Voltron, and I've got to say, it's pretty impressive. I will say though, I didn't particularly enjoy the build process, and I can't really put my finger on why. It was one of those sets, and I normally don't do this, is where I build some of it and then I go on and I would build something else, and then I'd go back. So I'd build a couple of lines and I'd go away, I'd come back and build another one, and I never normally do that. I normally just sit down, start a set, and just power on through until I get it done. So yeah, I can't really say why. I'd started that before I got this set, and I'd end up building this, and then I ended up building that, and then I went back and finished this. So yeah, really cool. The lions, I definitely prefer this combined mode as Voltron. I think definitely up on a shelf, he looks really impressive, I've got to say. The lions themselves, I think, I mean really just on a whole, it's a really hard thing to capture in Lego form, and I really feel like Lego did the best that they could with the brick-based system. So yeah, I suppose it's a little bit boxy, a little bit squarish to what it should be, but yeah, like I said, they are limited to what they could do. But as a finished product in Voltron mode here is awesome. Probably my favourite line would have to be the yellow line, I think. But yeah, I'm glad to have it built, and I will be probably putting this on the UCS shelves, just because I don't really have anywhere else to display such a big mech. Probably my other thing is I would have liked a little bit more articulation, especially in the arms. I would have liked to be able to move the arms out, but I mean, how would they have done it? It's really probably an impossible ask because there's a lot of weight in these arms. So yeah, I just think for what they've been able to accomplish, they did a fantastic job. And slipping over to Star Wars now, and I thought what I'd do is I'd talk about a couple of these sets, and now I'll talk about the movie. So I have built the little Sith Trooper battle pack, and I've got to say is that this one, no, that one's not too bad. I think Lego really have to start keeping an eye on their QC. Like this one here, yeah, it's this one here. This helmet is terrible, absolutely terrible with clipping on. I mean, I don't know if this has come out of their Chinese factory or what, but you really have to keep your eye on that Lego, because I have noticed that quite a few, especially the CMFs, are like this, and yeah, I mean, that's really just not good enough. It just, basically, sometimes I just pick it up and it falls off without even touching it. So it won't even hold its weight. So that, the clutch power there has a lot to be desired. Let's just fallen over and rolled off, so I'm not even touching that bloody thing. Kylo Ren's shuttle. How about we talk about the movie? So, The Rise of Skywalker. It's a really diversive subject ever since The Last Jedi, isn't it? But I'm not ashamed to say I absolutely loved The Rise of Skywalker. I've seen it 3 times. After I went and saw it, I had to go back. It was such an emotional ride. My wife was bawling her eyes out for like ever since. Maybe I shouldn't sort of give any spoilers, but you know, if you haven't seen it by now, what are you doing? But yeah, ever since an old character popped his head into it that we weren't expecting, you know what I'm talking about. My wife lost the plot, and yeah, she was sort of sobbing away ever since that in the movie. Tears of sadness, tears of joy. I gotta say, I absolutely loved it. The direction that JJ had to go with it and sort of kind of correct some of the things, and I'm still a fan of The Last Jedi, but there was definitely elements of it I didn't like, and they definitely address that in this movie. And yeah, for what he had to work with, I think he did a fantastic job, and it was just a full-on movie, and I absolutely loved it. And I've got to say, out of all the Disney movies, it would have to be my number 2 behind Rogue One. So I really enjoyed it. I went and saw it. I just had to go back. I think it was like 2 days later. I went back and watched it again just to sort of take more in. And then I let it sit for a while. I waited a few weeks before I went and saw it again, which was only just the other day. And I've got to say, I just absolutely loved it, really enjoyed it. So now I can't wait for it to come out on Blu-ray so I can watch it again. So let's just lead straight into, I had to build a set from that movie, and even though it wasn't in it a whole lot, it was just in the background, I did build Kylo Ren's shuttle. And this whole wing mechanism that they've come up with to fold the wings out, bloody awesome Lego. I've got to say, that is really nice. The colour scheme, it's just a fantastic set all over, and great minifigs. I'm going to try and leave it in flight mode, sit it there, and there we go. We can put it like that. Oh, that's not going to do it now, just pick it up. There we go. Great minifigs as well. So yeah, what can I say? Absolutely loved it. Love building these sets as well. What's next on the cards for me? Well, as for sets, I'll just pick and choose as I go. I've got enough in the catalogue to pick and choose from. But what I have been doing is I'm wanting to do a Bricklink order, and I won't tell you what that's for exactly, but basically I'm only after like a dozen or so elements, but they're quite rare elements in the colors that I want. So I have to go to several stores across the world to get what I need. And I kind of feel like it's a bit of a waste just ordering a handful of parts, you know, some from Germany, some from Malaysia, some from the States, you know, like it's a bit of a waste, and then to pay for shipping. So I want to add to those orders. So I finally decided to build a custom UCS set. Now I've had that in the back pocket for a while, and I've kind of been holding off, but it's a custom UCS Star Wars set that I want to add to the collection. It's over 3,000 pieces. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm just going to tease you for now, but I've started to collect up the parts. Now before I place any orders, of course I have to go through my parts and pick out what I need, and what a job that is turning out to be. I'm kind of just doing a couple of pages a night. It's quite a thick catalog of parts that I've got to pick through. So I'm making my way through that. I'm probably 2/3 of the way through that list before I'll be able to place some orders. I don't know how long it's going to be, because I'm just going to order. I've picked out the stores I need to order for those 12 parts, those 12 elements that I talked about. I've picked out those stores, and I'm just going to order what they have for this UCS build. So at this stage I have no idea how many parts it's going to mean that I'm going to add to it. I'm kind of hoping that I'm going to have 1,000 or 1,500 would be awesome of the parts out of my own collection. And then once I add to it from this order, I'm kind of hoping I'm going to be 2/3 of the way through, and then I'll see how much money that set me back before I make the final plunge and order the last of the pieces. But yeah, that's going to be a doozy. It's, like I said, over 3,000 pieces, ordering a bunch of loose parts and building from that. It's going to be a bit of a job, but something I'm really looking forward to. As for building, I think that is about it. What else have we got? As with my other collections, my Transformers collection, just on and off over there, it has grown. I don't think I did an update in 2019, so that's back in 2018 that I did an update. It has grown a bit, especially my movie bot shelf. That has definitely grown. I've actually got a few bots on the shelf down there I've still got to build. With my Transformers and my action figures, when I get them in, I can't just rip them open, and I know a lot of people just can't wait and they've just got to rip their figures straight out. I like to have a bit of time. I at least have to have an hour. I actually like to have about 2 hours so I can really appreciate the build, the figure, because I want to get in like Transformers. I want to transform it back and forth with the action figures. I want to try all the accessories. I want to pose it in as many poses as I can, take some photos, that sort of thing. So I like to have quite a bit of time. So I've got a bit of a backlog of action figures and Transformers I've got to get through. So once I do that, I will look at doing an update, on my collection, do an update video for you guys. And quite a lot has changed there. 2019 was a huge year for action figures. My collection really grew, I've got to say. Yeah, with all the Marvel, the figure arts Marvel figures coming out, that was pretty huge with Infinity War, Endgame, all that sort of thing. Mezco stepped up their game. A lot of Mezco came out as well. So I had a lot come in, and I've kind of really wound back my pre-orders. Like if I went back to this time last year, my pre-order list was huge, but this year I've actually got a handful of figures, and I'm kind of one of the collectors that if I have a great representation of a character, I don't feel the need to upgrade it, because there's re-releases on figures all the time. Unless there's some massive changes to it, or it's just a far superior figure, I wouldn't worry about upgrading it. So I've really gone through and got a lot of the characters I love in my collection now, so I can really slow down on the action figure collection and just pick and choose a bit more. And talking of action figures, I want to do my top 5 action figures for the year. So let's get on to that. Just before I get on to my top 5 action figures, I did want to show these guys off because I absolutely love them. These are the Ku model Samurai and Knights. We have our 3 Knights from the different orders of the Great Crusades. Absolutely fantastic looking. And we have our 2 Samurai, Sanada and Date. Very, very cool looking action figures. Coming in at number 5, we have the Mezco Punk Joker. Don't think that's his official name, but that's what I go with. I think this guy is awesome. I just love this styling for Joker. It's not a classic styling by any means, but it just really looks great to me. Great accessories with the cane and the guns and the knives and the teddy. He is really awesome. I probably would have had the Sovereign Batman in at number 5, except I haven't bloody got it yet. I normally, in the past, I was getting all my figures from Big Bad Toy Store. It was getting a little bit expensive. I wanted to support some Australian stores, but they take so long to get the figures in. So I ordered Sovereign Knight from Toybot Imports, and I still don't have it yet. So if they're seeing this by some chance, come on, pull your finger out and get those figures out to people. We have been very patient. Number 4, we have the SH Figure Arts, if we can get it to focus, Princess Leia. I was so happy to add her to my Star Wars shelf. And look at that face. Isn't that just beautiful? They've done a great job with it. And I have to say, out of all my shelves, my original trilogy Star Wars shelf for the action figures is my favorite. And it's looking really awesome with the addition of Princess Leia. Number 3, we have the Mafex Iron Spider from Infinity War. And this guy is fantastic, isn't he? Have a look at that. They've done such a great job, so much better job than what Figure Arts did, I've got to say. Just have a look at him. Look at that paint. It's just fantastic. I know a lot of people had issues with the spider legs, or the Waldos, I think they're called. But I actually didn't have any problems with mine, so I was a bit lucky. I know they did replace them for anyone that did have issues, so if you did, get them replaced. But yeah, pretty awesome figure. Number 2 would be my Mezco Blade, and have a look. This is one bad mofo, isn't he? Have a look at that. He is he's beyond cool, I've got to say. He is really, really impressive. Let's just turn him to the side here and we'll get another look. Look at the detail here. The soft goods, the jacket, the shades, the shotgun. I mean, it's just a fantastic package. And if you're a Blade fan, this guy's a must. But my number 1, a figure I have wanted for so long, and I finally got him, and I cannot believe how good he is. But he is the SHF, or SH Figure Arts Yoda. And this guy came with so many cool accessories. Man, have a look at him. He is just so much fun. I played with this guy for hours when I got him. Hours now. So look at the side of him. He's tiny. He's got great articulation. Like I said, accessories. We get 3 different types of robes. We get the council seat, we get lightsabers, we get the cane. Oh, it's just absolutely endless. I might even see if I can dig out some photos that I took of this guy and put them in here. But yeah, this is definitely my number one. This was the figure I had most fun playing with. And again, my Star Wars shelf has just gone up a level with the addition of Yoda. Look at that face. Come on, focus in there. Look at that. How good is that? Well, that's it, guys, for this episode of What's Up Dub. I did feel a little bit rusty doing this video. It has been so long. I did want to do it as a bit of an introduction to 2020, I guess, and really just have a chat about what's been going on. And I'd love to hear from you. I'd love some feedback on this type of video from you. If you've got any questions you'd love me to answer, this is a type of video I'll do it in, so belt some questions below if you have them. I'd love to know what you have been building of late. What was your favorite Lego set of 2019? If you're into them, what was your favorite action figure of 2019? Was it something in the Black Series range? Let me know that. Also, what was your favorite Transformer of 2019? I'd love to hear all of that from you, so if you've got something to say, belt it in the comments. I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Hit subscribe if you want to see more, because I've got stacks more on the way for you. And that's about it. So I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.